Melody Shari is making one thing very clear. She is not waiting for anyone to tell her story anymore. She is telling it herself, in her own space, on her own terms. After her appearance on Fox 54 for Black History Month recognition, she did not just celebrate the moment and move on. She used it as a signal that she is stepping fully into ownership. Not just ownership of business, but ownership of voice, access, and direction. This shift did not happen loudly. It happened in a calm but powerful way during a live session that showed more than just updates. It showed structure. It showed focus. It showed intention. That morning, while many families were still asleep because of a school holiday, her home was already active. The children had been awake since 5:45 a.m. There was no confusion, no chaos, no last-minute panic. They had private dental appointments at 7 a.m. and everyone was ready. That detail may seem small, but it speaks loudly. Discipline at home often reflects discipline in business. She did not share that story to impress anyone. She shared it to show how structure works. She talked about how proud she is of her children, not just because they're smart or talented, but because they show up. They move through tired moments. They move through pressure. They understand responsibility. She connected that to a memory from New York Fashion Week. Flights were canceled, plans changed. Many would have stayed where they were and called it a loss, but she made a new plan. She hired a driver from New York City to Washington, D.C. They caught a late flight to Atlanta. They landed around 4 or 5 in the morning. Then she drove to Huntsville. The kids showered and went straight to school. No excuses, no complaints. That story was not about travel. It was about mindset. It was about endurance. It was about showing up even when it is hard. That same mindset is visible in how she is now building her platform. She is not waiting for comfort. She is not waiting for approval. She is moving with intention. Later that morning, she sat in a nail salon with her daughters. The moment looked peaceful. Her girls were getting their nails done. One was sleepy, one was excited to show off matching pink nails. She was not even getting her own nails done. She was simply present, engaged, smiling, talking with supporters online. On the surface, it looked like a simple family moment, but underneath, she was doing something bigger. She was guiding her audience to a new space. For years, viewers watched her on Love and Marriage Huntsville. That show introduced her to a wide audience. It created visibility. It built recognition. But television has limits. Episodes are edited, scenes are cut, stories are shaped for ratings. Even when you are telling the truth, it may not be shown in full. She understands that now more than ever. That is why she introduced her Patreon platform with clear tiers. She explained it simply. There's a free level. That level includes only a short introduction. If someone signs up and sees limited content, that is how it is designed. Full access costs $29.99. There was also an 11.11 tier offered at a lower rate. That tier sold out quickly. 500 spots gone. She chose not to reopen it. That decision is powerful. It shows she values structure over pressure. Many people would reopen a popular tier to make quick money. She did not. She said the early supporters who joined deserve that rate. She will not lower her value to make others comfortable. That is business discipline. She also announced a 3-part series called Put It All on the Floor. She explained that there are details she has never shared before. Some things were connected to legal matters. Some things required time. Now that certain issues are resolved, she feels ready to speak. But she will speak in a place she controls. She will not overshare in public spaces that do not protect her. This is not just about storytelling. It is about power. Instead of allowing producers to decide what is shown, she is producing her own content. Instead of waiting for episode air dates, she controls release dates. Instead of being subject to network rules, she sets her own rules. During the live session, she smoothly reminded viewers about her skincare line, 7th Avenue Beauty. She talked about her Hydrating Glow bundle. She answered questions about different skin types. It did not feel forced. It felt natural. This is how trust turns into sales. When people feel connected, they are open to support. Then she spoke about her property preservation bootcamp. 3 weeks, $500, no special license required. Just commitment. She shared how this business changed her life, how it allowed her to leave teaching, how it helped her build a strong real estate portfolio at a young age. She spoke from real experience, not theory. Former students joined the comments and confirmed their success. One said they have been running their business for 3 years because of her class. That is strong proof. It shows impact. It shows that her lessons work beyond the screen. Later that day, she invited Patreon members to a watch party for her Fox 54 interview. Being recognized during Black History Month shows community respect. Instead of celebrating alone, she invited supporters into the moment. Then, just 2 hours later, she taught her masterclass. The entire day was planned with care. She also addressed the question of returning to full-time television. Her answer was balanced. Television comes with politics. It comes with outside control. On your own platform, you choose what to show. You choose what to highlight. You decide how much drama exists. That statement carries weight. It shows growth. She is building more than a subscription page. She is building a full system. Patreon content, skincare, education, events, mentorship, each piece connects. This is not random activity. It is layered strategy. She stayed kind and warm throughout the live. She greeted supporters by name. She thanked repeat buyers. She clarified pricing clearly. But she remained firm about boundaries. The sold-out tier will not return. Pricing will not change because of complaints. That strength builds respect. Even the small dental visit tease was smart. She asked viewers to guess who had a cavity. She did not reveal the answer. That creates curiosity. Curiosity drives subscriptions. Everyday moments can become premium content when handled with care. She said she could not leave her audience hanging. That builds emotional loyalty. Supporters feel seen. They feel valued. They feel included. Her daughters are watching all of this. They see structure. They see ownership. They see how ideas turn into income. She encourages education, but she also shows entrepreneurship daily. That changes what feels possible for the next generation. This shift is not about leaving television behind completely. It is about balance. It is about not depending on one source. Fame from television can fade. Ownership of platform creates stability. She understands that attention must turn into structure. Structure builds income. Income builds freedom. Freedom builds peace. When the live ended, she calmly reminded viewers to click the link in her bio. She explained the tiers again. She thanked supporters. She logged off with confidence. This moment represents growth. It represents control. It represents clarity. She is not retreating. She's rebuilding. She is not hiding. She is redirecting. And that is the full picture of what is happening right now. She is also thinking long-term, not just about today's sales, not just about this month's subscriptions, but about 5 years from now, 10 years from now. She is building something that can grow without asking anyone for permission. That matters in a world where platforms can shift quickly. When you own your audience connection, you are not depending on someone else's schedule. You are not waiting for a network to renew a contract. You're not hoping for screen time. You are creating your own stage. What stands out is how calm she is while doing all of this. There's no panic in her voice. There's no rush. She explains each move clearly. She repeats the details so no one is confused. Free tier, full access tier, limited tier that sold out, 3-part series, masterclass dates, watch party time. Everything is organized. That organization builds trust. When people feel clarity, they feel safe investing their money. She understands attention. She knows people are curious. They want details. They want answers about past drama. They want to know what really happened. Instead of giving everything away at once, she spaces it out. She creates levels of access. That is not being secretive. That is being smart. Value should match access. If everything is free, there's no reason to support. If some things are protected, people decide how much they want to know. Her story is also about growth. Years ago, she was balancing teaching and business. She talked about how property preservation helped her leave her job. That was not an easy decision. Leaving steady income takes courage. But she trusted her skill. She trusted her system. Now she teaches that same system. She is not just saying, you can do this. She is showing proof. She built before she taught. That gives her authority. When former students comment that they are still running their business years later, that is powerful. That is not hype, that is evidence. And she lets them speak. She does not interrupt, she thanks them, she highlights them. That creates community. When people feel seen, they stay loyal. She also mixes business with real life. One moment, she's talking about contracts and foreclosures. The next moment, she's laughing at her daughter fighting sleep in the salon chair. That balance makes her relatable. She is not trying to look perfect. She is showing the full picture. Busy mother, business owner, public figure, mentor, all in one day. Her Fox 54 appearance for Black History Month recognition was another layer. Being selected for that honor shows impact beyond television. It shows that her work matters in the community. It shows that her business and leadership are being noticed. She did not treat it like a small thing. She created a watch party for her supporters. She made it a shared moment. That is how you turn recognition into engagement. The timing of her day says a lot too. Early morning family routine, midday live session, afternoon salon time, evening watch party, night masterclass. There was no wasted space. Every hour had purpose. That does not happen by accident. That is planning. That is discipline. And discipline is something she clearly values. She talks about it with her kids. She practices it in business. She shows it through boundaries. When people kept asking if she would go back to full-time television, she did not shut the door completely, but she made it clear that control matters. On your own platform, you don't have to worry about editing. You don't have to worry about how scenes are cut. You decide what is shared. You decide the tone. That freedom is powerful. Once you taste that level of control, it's hard to go back. She is not fighting television. She is simply not depending on it.